Welcome back to EtherLink AI Insights, everyone. I'm Alex, and today we're talking about something pretty unconventional, an AI Vision Quest happening in Finnish Lapland. Now, I know that sounds like a wellness retreat crossed with a tech conference, but Sam, this is actually a working retreat for founders and executives. What's the core idea here?
Thanks, Alex. So the premise is genuinely interesting. Instead of sitting in a conference room learning about AI, you're actually building functioning AI systems in the Arctic wilderness. It's a 7-day immersive program, maximum 8 participants, where each person gets paired with a dedicated AI architect. By the end, you walk away with a working prototype, a prompt library, and a 90-day implementation roadmap.
That's the part that caught my attention. Most leadership development programs are abstract, right? But this one is saying participants actually build something. And you mentioned the Arctic wilderness. That's not just window dressing, is it?
Not at all. There's actual neuroscience behind it. Research from 2019 shows that 120 minutes of weekly nature exposure improves cognitive function, stress resilience, and creative problem solving. Finnish Lapland specifically offers midnight sun cycles, extreme silence, and cold temperatures, all of which can reset your circadian rhythm and trigger metabolic clarity. That's actually ideal when you're trying to think through complex architectural decisions about AI implementation.
So it's not just go breathe fresh air and feel better. It's deliberately using those environmental conditions to enhance focus while you're doing technical work. That's clever. But let's ground this in reality. Why do executives actually need this? What's the gap they're trying to fill?
Great question. McKinsey's 2024 data shows 72% of organizations have adopted AI in at least one business function, but only 34% report measurable ROI within 12 months. The bottleneck isn't technology access, it's leadership clarity. Founders and C-suite executives either don't understand how to architect AI systems properly, or they can't align those systems with regulatory requirements like the EU AI Act. They're delegating to vendors without really grasping what's being built.
That's the key insight, I think. AI is becoming the nervous system of the organization, and you can't just outsource understanding of your own nervous system. You need hands-on competency. So what exactly happens during these 7 days?
There are 4 main components. First, each participant gets a one-on-one personal AI mentor, not a facilitator, but an actual technical architect from EtherLink's team. Second, you're building your own AI agent prototype tailored to your specific business problems. Third, you develop what they call the golden prompt stack, basically a curated library of high-performing prompts for your critical business functions. And fourth, you leave with a personalized 90-day implementation plan with deployment timelines and governance checkpoints.
So by day 5, you have a working prototype? That's ambitious. How is that even feasible in a week?
EtherLink uses proprietary frameworks that accelerate the design process. And honestly, most executives don't need a production-grade system. They need a proof of concept that demonstrates capability and de-risks the approach. A prototype that works is enough to unlock internal buy-in and inform your rollout strategy. It's about speed and clarity, not perfection.
I'm curious about the EU AI Act compliance angle, too. That's not trivial. There's real regulatory weight there. Is that being woven into the technical training?
Absolutely. When you're building AI agents and designing prompts, you're making decisions that have compliance implications, risk classification, transparency requirements, documentation. All of that needs to be architected from day one, not bolted on later. Having mentors who understand both the technical and regulatory landscape means you're building compliant systems from the ground up. That's a huge advantage over trying to retrofit compliance later.
And the golden prompt stack. That feels like a concept that could have immediate, measurable ROI. You're basically creating a reusable asset your whole organization can deploy.
Exactly. Prompt engineering is becoming the core literacy for AI leadership. Instead of each team member writing their own prompts and getting inconsistent results, you have a tested, optimized library that's been refined during the retreat. That compresses your time to value from months down to weeks. You're not waiting for engineering cycles, you're deploying working solutions immediately.
So the 90-day roadmap isn't just theoretical either. It's grounded in what you've actually built and tested during the week?
Right. It's a phased deployment timeline based on your actual prototype and your organizational constraints. You have specific governance checkpoints, team training protocols, and measurable success metrics. When you get back to the office, you're not starting from scratch. You have a clear, evidence-based blueprint.
One thing I'm wondering, who is this really for? Is it only for tech founders? Or is there a place for traditional C-suite leaders who've been skeptical about AI?
I think the skeptical C-suite leader is actually the ideal candidate. If you've been hesitant about AI because you don't understand it, spending a week building actual systems demystifies everything. You move from "I don't get this" to "I built this." That's transformative for a leader. And with the small cohort size, 8 people max, there's space for different experience levels.
The small cohort is probably important for the 1-1 mentor ratio too. You're getting personalized attention rather than being one of 200 people in a conference room.
Absolutely, and honestly, AI architecture is not a one-size-fits-all domain. Your manufacturing company's AI needs are completely different from a fintech startup's needs. A mentor who understands your specific industry and challenges can guide you toward solutions that actually matter for your business, not generic frameworks.
So if I'm listening to this and thinking about whether this is worth my time and investment, what's the real takeaway?
The real value is operational clarity and hands-on competency. You're not returning to your organization with theoretical knowledge. You're returning with working prototypes, tested prompts, and a detailed implementation roadmap. That's immediately actionable. Plus, you've de-risked your AI strategy because you've validated concepts with expert guidance. That reduces implementation friction significantly.
And there's the bonus of actually thinking clearly. The neuroscience piece. Arctic silence and midnight sun cycles aren't just nice to have when you're trying to architect the nervous system of your organization.
Exactly. Complex strategic thinking requires different cognitive conditions than your typical office environment. The fact that you're getting that cognitive reset while building something tangible, that's the real differentiator here.
Well, this is genuinely fascinating. If you want to dive deeper into the AI MindQuest framework, the specific components of the retreat, and how this all ties into broader AI leadership transformation, head over to etherlink.ai and find the full blog post. Thanks for joining us on EtherLink AI Insights, everyone.
Thanks for listening, and if you're considering your next leadership development move, maybe it's time to think unconventionally. See you next time.